take it fast, shorty, we can take it slow. Watch you stroke it from the back while I'm gripping on your throat.
Hey, what up, y'all? Tune in. It's your boy SYNCRE the ILLEST, aka Mr. Side Nigga himself. Y'all hear my song in the background, SNA Anthem, out on all platforms. Be sure to go check me out. I'm on all platforms, including YouTube. Please subscribe. But you don't want to miss this exclusive interview. I'm here right now with the Blueprint, straight out of Riverview, Florida, man. Hey, this is an in-depth interview.
We're gonna continue. I'm rolling. We live. We finna go straight into a little bit of digging. Tell us a little bit about where you from. Let's go. Let's start. Who is SYNCERE? Tell us a little bit about where you from.
So, I'm gonna give y'all the sauce, man. I'm gonna give y'all the secret. So, my real name is Tyshawn Isaiah SYNCERE Hatch, right? So, SYNCERE is a part of my name. It's actually supposed to be my first name. And for those of y'all who don't know the movie Baby Boy, that's where my parents got my name from. SYNCERE. Yeah. It was supposed to be SYNCERE. And they saw that movie before my mom got pregnant with me, and my pops and my mom was like, you know, we want to name him SYNCERE. But then they wound up coming up with this logical conclusion together that they was gonna put their name together. So my dad's name is Sean and my mother's name is Taisha. So they took the first two letters of her name and then his whole name, put it together and got Tyshawn. So either way, I would say my name is very unique.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, damn, that's fire. Okay.
Yeah.
So where did SYNCERE actually come from?
So SYNCERE the ILLEST actually came from my inspiration to do music. So there's nobody else in this world as an artist that I can say I've heard of that their name is SYNCERE. And just the name itself, to me, I've always been attracted to the name SYNCERE. So because it's supposed to be my first name, you know, I had a few teammates in high school that actually, two of them, their name was SYNCERE.
Wow.
So the name kind of followed me, and it's like, it's what I was supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? So when it followed me, you know, I just heard the name a couple times and how people said it, and I just began to look it up. I looked up what SYNCERE means, you know. Sincerity means to honesty in its purest form, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are without a doubt, you know, like when you say I'm being sincere to somebody, you're without a doubt telling them the truth, the wholehearted truth and nothing but the truth. Nothing changes. So with me picking that name, it just, because it was supposed to be my first name, that's definitely one reason. But the second reason, I just like what it represents. And most music artists nowadays, they pick a name and don't realize when you pick your name, that's what you represent. You know what I'm saying? And to be real, I had a name before I became SYNCERE. My original name when I first came out, I didn't really know what kind of genre I wanted to do. I was trying to do everything. I was trying to trap, you know, I was talking about that stuff, and I just realized that with my name, because my past name was F&G Monty, and it stood for, F&G stands for fucking new guys. That's the thing we say in the military when you are brand new, especially if you're like fresh off out of basic, they call you F&G. I just realized though that people would portray me as like, you know, some sort of gangster, and you know, even though I have like a side to me, I don't want people to think first off like, yo, yeah, that's what he is. Because at the end of the day, I'm a man that's on a mission, bro. I don't have time to be out here for people to think that I'm trying to be something I'm not. So my name represents me.
And I'm gonna be honest.
No.
Where are you from? Tell us where you from.
So I gotta rep my city for a minute, man. Hey, I'm straight from Mount Vernon, New York, man. I was born in New Rochelle. For those of y'all that know where New Rochelle is in New York, it's probably, I want to say maybe 30, 40 minutes from the Bronx. And once you go, you know, into New Rochelle, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of different from the Bronx. But my upbringing, I was born in New Rochelle and was raised in the Bronx. So the Bronx in New York, I want to say the Bronx is kind of like a mini Harlem. You got a lot of culture in the Bronx. From the area that I was from, I was actually in the area, you're going to laugh, and you're going to probably be surprised. So I'm sure we all know who DMX is, right?
Of course.
And Jadakiss and all them. So my father used to run the streets with them. Yeah, my pops and my mother actually smoked the blunt with Jadakiss and DMX.
Damn.
This is while they were on the rise, and even when they were who they were, because you know DMX would periodically hang out. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does.
Fucking correct.
And Jadakiss.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
And I know Jadakiss is like really like active with like the people. Like
Yeah.
if he fuck with you, it ain't about popularity or
Right.
level of success. He fuck with the genuineness of a person. So I definitely know what you mean. And if you be on Instagram, you can see, man, there's so many people that he really deal with on a personal level. Even when he down here in the South, bro, I love it.
Yeah,
damn, that's crazy.
He come off it. See, the thing I like about those guys and why they like influenced the area where I grew up, they come off their high horse. You know, they're not like, oh, I'm a celebrity. I'm too good to be seen. And honestly, that's kind of where I get like my attitude that I have like towards, you know, being a big artist or on my way to being a big artist. I have the same attitude they have. Like, yo, because at the end of the day, just a regular human, bro. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm never too good to be unreachable, man. Like, always, people can come to me. I always tell people that now. Like, you know, they start seeing me doing this stuff. Even with me being on this platform, you know, I know a lot of people already know that I was coming to here. And then I see a lot of people there just like, oh, you know, they told me, oh, you busy, you working, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that for one instant, I don't tune into the world and not know what's going on and not allow y'all to come to me. Y'all can talk to me about
That's
anything.
major. You guys see that, man? You
Anything,
get it from the
man.
blueprint, man. My guy always plugged in.
Always.
He's always accessible. So if you ever need to reach out for a feature, for him to come through to do a walkthrough, the network, to do a shoe signing, anything. He got a new project coming out, so he's going to be doing a release.
Absolutely.
You know, so anytime you need him, man, he's just a DM away, email away, and we're going to get that contact information to have that within the interview. But this major right now, guys. So for anyone who don't know Syncere, who's getting to know him, who's building, we giving y'all that direct, man. Y'all are right here with us in live form, bro, seeing what's going on. So look, so how did things transpire with you going from New York to Florida? How did that happen?
So, it's a little bit of a story, man. I'll be honest with you. So, like in my younger years of living in New York, you know, everything was all good. I want to say everything was all good up until the age of 11, 12. This is when stuff started hitting the fan. So we were living great, you know. I had my dad around here and there, but you know, I don't want to say typical black kid story because my dad was there. In some ways that I could say, you know, definitely helped me, because if not, I would be, you know, somewhere else right now. But, you know, he was in and out of jail and stuff and for stuff. And my mother, you know, they had me young, teenage kid, teenage parents.
Wow,
had me at like 16, 17 years old.
I wouldn't have thought that because you carry yourself pretty fucking good, bro.
I know.
You sharp.
I have to. It's the way that I was, from how I'm about to tell you, is why I carry myself this way. So with them being young and having me, you know, they brought me up as best as they could. They didn't know everything because they were still kids themselves. So they brought me up best way they could. I want to say I had, you know, a great first, you know, iteration of my young life. But when I got to 11, 12 years old, we started falling on hard times as anybody would. It was actually so hard, in fact, that we became homeless. I don't want to say we lived on the street, but just even thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I came, this shit hard to talk about, bro, cause it's like when I became homeless, and when I was like going into middle school, like, so my last year of elementary school, that's when it hit. Going into middle school, we was living in and out of different shelters. Now, I want to touch on the relationships that was going on at the time while I was going through that homelessness. So, my father and my mother, you know, always loved each other, but, you know, something there where miscommunication was had over the years, and, you know, I used to fight a lot, so I used to see that, you know, as a little kid. Going through that and seeing that wasn't something that was good on my mental. So I saw that, and like, no shade to my father, you know, I respect him as a man, but, you know, I saw him beat on my mom a couple of times, and I understood, you know what I'm saying, that maybe people were stressed out about the situation we was going through. It's a stressful situation, especially you having a kid. And not only did she have me, you know, she was expecting my brother. So, stressful situation. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we was going through all that, and that's what happened. You know, they just kind of just fought each other, and I was growing up seeing that. And with that happening, that influenced me a great deal of me like having this mindset, like how you say I carry myself now. I saw that, and not only that, I saw a situation. I said, I promised to my mother. I came to her one day. This is at, what, 12 years old? Came to her one day, just said, Mom, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get us out of this. Because I want to count on my hand, homeless for like 5 years. In and out of shelters, man. In and out. I had to become a man at a very early age because I didn't want to be in that situation. When I say become a man, I don't want to say I helped my mom pay bills and nothing because like I didn't work at 12, but I became a man in that schoolhouse, man. You know, I applied myself to the books. And I told my mother, I said, you know what? I'm going to either get us out of here through school or I'm going to play sports. And at that time, in middle school, I actually decided, I was like, I'm going to join sports. Why not? I need a break from everything. And I said, I want to see what I'm good at.
Okay.
So I remember the first time I actually tried something was wrestling. That was my first sport. And come to find out, I'll tell you about that as we get into the interview. You're going to be shocked about how I am in wrestling. You can actually, I wasn't too good at it at first, you know, and I was like, well, this ain't a way for me to get us out of here. So I still continued to do it, but I was like, let me find something else. And then we, you know, was living in New York, and from there, you know, all the way to my 7th, 8th grade year, got you. Well, while we was going through that whole homeless situation, we still attended church. My mom was one of those mothers that was always God-fearing. She always instilled God in us. So, you know, I come from a church background. Most people don't, they'll be like, oh, well, you know, you sing this kind of music, you come from church. And it's like, the way I view it with church, you know, you give to God what belongs to God, and you do what you have to do that's, you know, that works for you. Even God said that in the Bible. It's facts. Look it up. But yeah, she took us to church, and I was actually in the youth choir. I wasn't really, you know, a singer at that point because I was more of a drummer. I played the drums. I was a musician. But it just so happened that they needed extra people for a tenor position. And I never really tried to sing until I got in the choir. They kind of shaped me and like molded me. And I realized from what I was missing from behind being in the drum set, I was like, yo, I heard all the collection of voices together, the sopranos, the altos, the tenors. And I said, wow, bro, this shit is beautiful. Like, to hear all these harmonies in my head, and I was like hearing how we all sound together, I said, man, I need to come up from off the drums and get on the choir. You know, it's great to play the music, but it's another thing to actually minister the music. You know what I'm saying? So I got off the drums and started being in the choir more. I still played the drums, but mainly I was in the choir. I even sung solos in church.
Wow.
And that's where I figured, I was like, man, I love music. But for me to actually like say I started recording music, this
Correct.
Became later in life.
Okay.
We were moving to Florida.
Correct.
So yeah, after that whole homeless debut thing that we went through, my mom caught a break and just decided to, hey, we're gonna come to Florida. Now my father didn't come at this time. It was just me, her, my brother and sister, because we had a sister at that time. So that's what happened. You know, my mom wound up having 3 of us. So
Okay.
I'm the oldest.
Okay.
But yeah, we came down to Florida, and I remember when we came down here, we was kind of going through that same situation again. We were staying with people that she knew until, you know, we was able to get on our feet. So again, me looking for outlets to get my mind off of like, oh, you know, we're not in our own house and we're in a whole different state. We don't have nobody here that's family. I was like, let me find some things in school that I can get into. So one of the things that I wound up getting into was chorus. So chorus, because I was like, wow, I never took chorus. And I always seen, you know, the little programs on TV where they're all standing in robes and singing. And I was like, let me try that. You know, I could do that. So I went in, I told my counselor, let me get that as a class, as an elective. He was like, all right, cool. So he signed me up. I remember the first day I went there, I went and I talked to the teacher. His name was Mr. Dow. I'll never forget him. If Mr. Dow, if you see this, shout out to you, man. You helped me. I'm telling you. That's why I sing the way I do. But Mr. Dow was a great teacher, man. I went in there, first day, introduced me, warm welcome. And immediately, like the first day, he started teaching us about music, like where it came from, you know, why we sound the way that we sound. There's a science behind music, and I'll get into that later. But the science behind the music, you know what I'm saying? The different notes, because I could read notes because of him, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, when I was in that class, I fully immersed myself, you know, with the competitions and stuff with him, because he took us, and it was just like, I love it. Like, if I don't want to do anything else, it's music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already knew I was going to probably try to go to college for football and try to play and, you know, go to college for criminal justice. But I was like, man, this right here is just like a side thing. I was like, what I really want is music. And so I just checked in my mind and said, look, I'm going to graduate high school. And I said, I'm going to go to school and pursue a career with criminal justice. But I said, I'm also going to minor in music because I'm not trying to be in the criminal justice for too long. I want to cross over in music. This is where I feel like I'm called to be. But what was supposed to happen was I got offers for football, right? And it was there was one to Delta State University, which is a HBCU, and then a couple others, one in Illinois. And I took the one in Illinois. I was like, all right, I'm going to go and try to see how this football thing works out. Still pursue my, you know, criminal justice career and try to do music as a minor. So I went to take it, but it's just like I said, when God got a call in your life, you can't run. So I went to go take the offer. And I joined the military as well. On top of all this, before I signed up to do the offer, they already notified them like, hey, I'm joining the military too, so y'all gonna have me doing both. So I joined the military as well. Now, when I did that, I was supposed to be away for college to go check in over the summer before I left for the military.
Okay.
So with that happening, COVID came.
Correct. Wow.
And when I was supposed to go check in with my college, they showed me the tour and everything. I was like so excited to go. I met my teammates over there live. We talked. So excited to go. I get an email, then a phone call like the week before I'm supposed to go. Yeah, you know, it reached me. Is this Tyshawn? Yes. The person on the phone tells me, well, yeah, you know, the school's been shut down permanently, you know, because of budget cuts due to COVID. And they sent me a letter in the email. Wow. So what do I do with the scholarship then that y'all gave me? Because they gave me a scholarship for $20,000. So I'm like, what do y'all want me to do with this? You know, what's going to happen? Because I was like, y'all are the only college that I really, you know, sought after. I applied to everybody else and everything and got accepted, but I said I wanted to come here. So it was like, we're going to send it out to the surrounding colleges in the area, and they should accept it. But I was like, that's no good for me. I want to be with y'all. So my football aspirations just died from that point. And I was like, well, you know what? It's not meant for me to play football. Let me just focus on going to basic training and get that out the way. So I came back, I want to say, in 2019. 19 years old, right? Moved out the house when I came back because I was like, yo, I'm a grown man now, you know? It's like, time to move out. Moved out the house, found some roommates, 4 of us. Who would know that fate would have it that all 4 of us do music and would do music and continue to still do music? Because when I moved in, I met this kid and I had my speculations about him. I was like, man, I don't know about him. I didn't think it was going to be cool. And he wound up being the very one to introduce me to the other roommates, and then also wound up being the one later to set up the studio session. My first studio session in which I recorded my first song, Thank You Baby, which you don't have it yet. I'm going to show y'all. That's going to be an exclusive thing.
Right, okay.
But that's what inspired me to get in the studio for SNA. So after I say maybe a year later, I touched the studio again and revitalized my sound, because I was thinking over that whole year, I was like, man, what do I want to sound like? Because I was like, Thank You Baby is cool and everything, but I feel like that's not me. So I wound up coming up with this song, and I heard the beat on YouTube. And I was like, yo, this beat right here is my sound. I hear it. Start formulating the words. Booked the session, like I said, a year later. Went in there that night. Had a few drinks. Had a friend come with me. And Side Nigga Anthem was created right there that night, man. I'll never forget it, because I heard my producer, rest in peace to him, man, Nitro on the beat. He died last year. Yeah, man. Definitely. And he's the one that heard it instantly. He said, yo, you got a hit, man. Because as soon as he played it back in the speakers to me, because he told me come out the booth, and he said, yo, I want you to hear this. So I came out the booth, I heard it, and my other friend Brian, who's also a music artist, was there, and we all 3 sat there and listened, and I'll never forget it, bro. We just couldn't stop playing it. We kept playing it over and over. over and over, man. It was so good that I went past my studio time. I only booked 2 hours. That he went past my studio time to continue working on it.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, this is the one. And I was like, yo, this is my sound. I hear it. I was like, yo, R&B is where I need to be. Because I was like, all this trap stuff and I was trying to do the year prior, I was like, that's not me, you know? I tried it. I was like, you know, I can incorporate it in so many ways, but that's not my main sound.
Right.
So I wound up hearing that, and I was like, this is it, man. Side Nigga Anthem, I said, I need to go ahead and get in the R&B platform, bro. This is where I'm supposed to be. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember how I mentioned you can't run from the calling?
Correct.
God called me to sing. And every time people hear something that I do, even when I've sung in church, and even when they've heard this music, I had people come up to me after the performance that I recently had at Lyrical Cafe. Yo, man, I heard the song, bro. I could relate to that. Someone came up to me and told me, yo, I know what you're saying, bro, because I know what it is to be a side nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know most artists out here are like, oh, I write all my own stuff. And that's cool, you know what I'm saying? I write my own stuff. Nobody came up with SNA for me. I wrote everything. Everything is on me. However, there's nothing wrong with having some help because all great minds have to have assistance. You gotta be able to be well-rounded, man. Like, you gotta it's a give and take with music, give and take.
Correct.
So if someone comes along and they're able to write lyrics for you that maybe fit your song a little better than how. Yes, so I'm actually, so the video, that was actually released and I had to take it down. So we had a little complication. The video guy that I had, I'm gonna shout him out anyway, Creative Chris. I'm sure y'all might know him on Instagram, but we had a little issue where he shot the video and his banner was in my video. And so even though it was, you know, you could barely see it, it was copyrighted because we had some issues about like the payment. He wasn't clear on some things, but we cleared it up. Been out for, I wanna say 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm still pushing it. I haven't pushed it as hard yet because I'm gonna push it with this EP that's coming out in July. Being that Side Nigga Anthem is gonna be one of the exclusive tracks that's on there.
Okay.
I figured I might as well push all the songs instead of, you know what I'm saying, just pushing one song. I could push them all, and then when I'm done pushing those, Side Nigga Anthem's still taking off because it's still climbing. I have
The Side Nigga Anthem.
so you can find the video out on YouTube. It's if you look me up on YouTube, it's just basically my name, Sincere the Illest. And then you could put SNA for short, or you could just put Side Nigga Anthem and it should come up. But if you put Side Nigga Anthem, just a warning, it's gonna pop up with a couple different people. Cause I guess a couple of different people was like, yeah, let's all make a song called Side Nigga Anthem. But I think I've been searched up enough frequently that it should pop up. I'm out on all the other platforms though, same name, Sincere the Illest, SNA. One of the main platforms that I'm really trying to push right now, it's TikTok because so, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate all y'all support for real, man. Like, cause being a music artist is a job and y'all are the employers. If we don't have any fans, we don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are the ones that keep us employed. So, okay, so with this EP, you know, I know when most artists, when they release music, it's like, they're just like, all right, let me just throw a song out there. I didn't think of this EP as like, let me just throw something together and like, you know, just push it out and hope for the best. There's like a way that I'm doing this. So with this EP that's coming out, this is highlighting all of like my past relationships that I've went through, whether it be sexual relationships, you know, friendships, just any kind of relationship that I've had in my life that was not helping me. If I can touch on it for a second,
Let's get it.
I actually have, yeah, I'll touch on it right now then. So I actually have there's 2 songs on there that I'm fucking with them both. I haven't created the other ones yet. I'm in the process of like getting them recorded. But these 2 songs that I'm talking about, the name is 2 a.m. and the other one's called Undecided. So with 2 a.m., that's basically a story that I have. So after SNA, that's like a follow-up, that situation. So SNA, so I could touch bases on that because that probably might be your next question. But to follow up from SNA, I made 2 a.m. and that song was about me calling this girl. Well, this girl would always call around that time. And basically, you know what I'm saying, she was with somebody that she knew I liked it. She was with somebody that she knew wasn't no good. You know what I'm saying? Dude didn't really know what to do with her, like treating her wise. Not that he was necessarily cheating on her or nothing, but he just didn't know how to make her feel good. Didn't know how to treat her. And so, you know, your boy over here, you know, I'm not a bad looking dude. So, you know, I met her and we talked. I wound up talking to her so much to the point that I got her number. And then we started talking. And I noticed it would become a pattern to where we would stay up because I would usually be off on the weekends when I moved out and I was living in my apartment. I'd be off on the weekends. And she would just call, and it'd always be at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. that we stay up to have conversations, and she'll come over. So 2 a.m. is highlighting, like, you know what I'm saying, the fact that I know you with somebody, and I know he got you feeling lonely, so come be in my bed. Fuck what he said. That's literally my lyrics, what I say.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? Undecided, the other song that I said I'm fucking with. Undecided is about, I want to say, me and my ex. So I had an ex and this wasn't during the time of me living where I was at. This is like way after. So I had an ex that I had wound up meeting when I was working at Planet Fitness. It explains like my view of what I was trying to tell her. I wish if you're watching this, Beatrice, I wish I could have told you this when we was dating. But Undecided just basically says, loving you's not easy, but I don't think I'm going anywhere, because it wasn't easy loving her. And I would say I did love her, but it wasn't easy. And through all the stuff that we went through, I still didn't want to go nowhere. Even though I'd wind up going somewhere and wind up having to cut it off because I thought it was no good for both of us. I didn't want to go. So that's what Undecided highlights. You know what?
Fucking go,
and
man.
let me touch on that, man, because with SNA, a lot of people, I'm gonna tell you this now, because when I told them what SNA was about, because it fits, because it's going on there, because it's about a relationship. But SNA, everybody always assumes like, oh, are you singing about taking somebody's girl and being their side nigga? And I'm like, nah, I was a side nigga, and the situation behind it, I wasn't intentionally trying to be one. It just wound up happening. And so what happened with the SNA is, you know, I was dealing with this woman, met her in high school, always wanted her, you know, always thought she was fine. I was like, man, I need her. And I'm not, you know, encouraging this for anybody, so don't go out there messing with nobody's wife or husband. If they married, leave that alone, bro. God put that together, and God will definitely take vengeance on you if you put asunder to what he put together. That's what he says in the Bible.
Wow. How can we prep for it?
Bet. So I actually have an EP release party coming up. It's going to be July 15th at Glass House Studios. And, you know, because I love y'all, like I always be saying on Instagram, man, I'm going to make sure that y'all have food there. It's going to be an actual party, bro. We going to have fun. There's a kitchen in Glass House Studios, downstairs and upstairs. So there's a pool table downstairs, all that stuff. So we're going to have fun. We're going to turn up. It's going to be a good place for everybody to come and vibe, bro. Like, for you to hear some real music. What I want to do is have merchandise ready by that time for the girls, because it's summertime, and also for the men, but mainly the girls, because you know, that's more of my audience. I know women really in tune with my stuff, but surprisingly, just to get on topic, it's been a lot of men listening to my stuff too lately. I can see my analytics.
They don't know about that. You got a pair
Nah.
coming soon, right?
Yeah, I do.
Talk about that.
Shoot, I wish I had the images for y'all, but I'm gonna just give you a little
gonna get them to
insight.
me, and we won't be able to plug everything
Bet.
in. I got you.
Say less. So y'all heard it from him. He got y'all.
I got you.
So, with the apparel for the woman, I was thinking crop tops, you know, and the booty shorts, because it's summertime, and I know in Tampa specifically that's what they like to rock. I have my own clothing line being started up with all this, so it's called Yours Truly. Because I always say that after I post on Instagram, if you go on any of my posts on Instagram, I talk to you like I'm writing a letter. I always say yours truly, sincere. You know what I'm saying? Because I love poetry. So I like writing. And that's why I was like, yo, man, this would be a dope clothing line to be yours truly, because, like I said, my brand, and with me being sincere, my whole thing about being sincere is being yourself, being open, being honest. You know what I'm saying? And with yours truly, that's me telling you, like, yo, me sincerely being yours. Yup, and I want you to be able to tell me, like, yo, look, I'm a skater, but I really like your brand, so I will rock it, but could you make it into a fashion that, you know, I would like to wear? So, like, skaters, for example, they like to wear, like, denim, you know what I'm saying, Converses. I want SNA, You know, any cover art that you want from any of my songs, I could put it on that kind of style for you. You know what I'm saying? It's about being worldwide, bro. Like, I'm not stuck in this whole, like, yo, let me just do this only in Tampa and be good in Tampa. Like, yes, you got to take over one city at a time, but Florida is not it for me, and it shouldn't be for a lot of artists. Florida is just a starting point, and this start got nothing on this finish. I'm going to tell you that now.
Baby, we can take it fast, shorty, we can take it slow. Watch you stroke it from the back while I'm gripping on your throat. Going round up the line, you know I'm loving on your body. I'ma give it to you good, move your hands, don't you stop me. Hold up, you feel that pressure on your hips. Oh, you think me dumb, but I got a few more tricks. We do this every weekend, she be with the freaking 5'6", slim, thick Puerto Rican. Call me a side nigga, I'm in love with your figure.